I need wonder to explain what's going to happen to me when this thing is done. When our shift is over and our kids' kids are still on the earth listening to their crazy rap music. I need something mysterious to happen to me after I die. I need to be somewhere else after I die, somewhere with God.
Beneath a billion stars. Quiet. River speaking some sort of fish language. Hello? Is anybody out there? I'm sorry. Why did I just say that? Just felt right. I don't know who I am. I don't know who you are. Come talk to me, please. He looked up at me. Just wanted him to hold me, you know? Tell me it was gonna be okay, you know? I said, come on, Father. Come on. Can't you see that I'm ready? I am ready to make a life for myself. Like, I want your cash and your blessing. Listen, if you don't give them to me, I'm leaving anyway. And I fought him for a long time. But then I gave in. I gave in to my Father's embrace, and all my guilt, shame, fear, humiliation for what I'd done, it just melted away. For the first time in my life, I felt free. Heed me well, know my journey. Never forget, I'm the younger son. I find it interesting how the pious world would condemn my younger son, but would not see the lostness of his older brother. But I believe, in fact, that the older one is more lost than the younger one ever was. Everything lies before him like a banquet, my experience, my wealth, my love. But he'd have none of it.
I once went to a play. It was Romeo and Juliet, and I took a date. It was my first date ever. It's a pretty good move to take a girl to a play. My date sat so close to me, I could hear her nose breaths. She smelled warm like sunshine and soft like she used special soap. Even though it's a good idea to take a girl to a play, I screwed it up. There's this part in the play when Juliet, the main girl, is standing on the balcony and Romeo, the main guy, is hiding in the bushes below, and it's pretty tense because Juliet doesn't know that Romeo's in the bushes. It was great at first. My date sat so close to me. She was scrunched in so close I could feel the softness of her side, the warmth of her arm wrapped around mine. I thought what the actors were saying was pretty mushy, but I didn't let on, and every few minutes I would say things like, "Oh," and "Ah." And when I did this, my date would glance at me in wonder. It's a pretty good idea to make noises when you're at a play. My date was wrapped up in the whole love theme, but I wasn't buying it. I just wasn't buying a lot of the crap they were saying. I mean, Juliet kept going on and on about how Romeo should deny his family, and Romeo was like, "Oh, okay." And Juliet told Romeo he smelled like a rose. "Oh, okay." And then the key lines, the lines on which I now know the whole play hinges: "Call me love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I'll never be Romeo." I don't know if you know this, but later in the play, they accidentally kill themselves. It was not very believable, but that's what happened. My date was crying, and I was thinking they got what they deserved. I didn't understand everything that the actors were saying, but what I thought they were saying must have been written for girls. People should really put a limit on how much they give to emotion. And when the play was over, we ascended the aisle through the crowded lobby onto the steps of the playhouse. And there were girls everywhere, all of them misty-eyed. Two girls in front of us were talking to each other, and one of them threw her hands up in the air and cried out, "I wish I could know love like Romeo and Juliet." I couldn't take it anymore. They're dead. Well, I didn't think anybody heard me, but my date did. And the two girls heard me, and they told their two friends. And, well, one idiot guy repeated what I said, pointing at me. All the girls looked at me like I stepped on a cat. My date's body grew cold, and on the drive home, she hugged the far door so tightly, I thought she was going to fall out. When we got to her house, it was tense. I said, "Can we kiss? Because I hear that helps a girl fall in love." Well, she went into her house and closed the door firmly on our relationship. And honestly never liked her. Deeply. My mom had given me her Texaco card, and on the way home, I stopped in for some Cheetos and donuts. And I sat there in the parking lot, thinking about poor old Romeo, begging for love, running off with Juliet and accidentally dying. Some dates, they just go terrible. He was doomed from the beginning, though. He believed in magic. He believed that hooking up with Juliet would make him new, change his name, have him baptized and shining.